Folks, in today's video, which seems like another episode of how to show a total lack of decorum and respect, we have none other than President Joe Biden at the helm, our commander-in-chief. The way he treated a Medal of Honor recipient at the end of the ceremony shows yet again a frightening side of Biden, how much he has disdain for the men and women who serve. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back. Now, just watch this. This is the end of the ceremony, but before the final benediction is read, a president, a commander-in-chief at a Medal of Honor ceremony is supposed to wait until that is over out of respect. Look at Biden. He thinks they're clapping for him. Look at his demeanor. He thinks the applause is for him at a Medal of Honor ceremony. This narcissistic rat. He left this guy, the commander-in-chief left a war hero up on stage alone. By looking at him, you can tell he's at a moment where he's overwhelmed. A big day for him. And the president left him alone up there to finish out the ceremony by himself. They haven't even done the final benediction yet. They're going to do it now, and he's not there.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me for the benediction.
You see, Larry L. Taylor, a hero from a time when men were men and courage was the order of the day. It was the Vietnam War. This man finally had his moment under the limelight, a glorious moment to be decorated with the Medal of Honor, something that highlights the epitome of valor and courage. This courageous soldier rewrote the stories of the four men that he saved, a tale of extraordinary bravery that echoed through generations. Oh, but wait, let's not let that overshadow the star of the show. Our dear president adorned himself with a much publicized COVID mask when he arrived, only to remove it moments later. He is actually politicizing a Medal of Honor ceremony. You know, it truly makes you wonder, what could possibly be more important at that moment than giving due respect to a man who risked everything for his country? According to Biden's itinerary, this was his only public appearance for the day. I have to ask, was Biden running off to yet another vacation? Now, before you accuse me of partisanship, let's take a walk down memory lane where former presidents Trump and even Obama bestowed the Medal of Honor with a grace, a presence, and a genuine respect that seems to have eluded our current commander-in-chief. During Captain Taylor's ceremony, Biden read from pre-written lines, and he sounded like he was reading from pre-written lines. There was no warmth to his words. There was no empathy for what the man went through. Nothing. Here's just a little piece of President Trump when he does the same type of ceremony.
Names and your immortal acts of valor are forever engraved in the memory of our nation. Our nation will always be grateful to you, and you know that. Today, we induct a new name into the world's most exclusive gathering of heroes, and that's exactly what it is. Britt was raised in Northampton, Massachusetts. Britt enlisted in the Navy to become a SEAL. That means he is a physically very strong person, and that also means he is a mentally very strong person. That's tough. In 2002, Britt was called to support Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. In the late evening hours of March 3rd that year, he led an elite team on a combat mission to establish a secure position on the peak of a 10,000-foot mountain known as Thakur Ghar. Britt and his teammates were preparing to exit the helicopter onto the mountain when their aircraft was struck by a machine gun and machine gun fire like they've never seen before, and a rocket-propelled grenade from Al-Qaeda terrorists down below. Not a good feeling. As the helicopter lurched away from the assault, Petty Officer First Class Neil Roberts was flung out of the aircraft. Tremendous, tremendous, horrible thing to witness. And onto the side of the mountain before the helicopter crashed into the valley below. After surviving barely the violent crash, Britt and his team were retrieved by a second helicopter, also, by the way, piloted by very brave people. At this point, Britt received information suggesting their comrade, Neil Roberts, the man thrown out of the helicopter, was probably still alive. The team faced a choice to wait for reinforcements and pretty much safety, or to return immediately to the enemy stronghold in the hope of saving Neil's life.
Yep.
They would be outmanned, outgunned, and fighting uphill on a steep, icy mountain, and every soldier knows you don't want to fight uphill.
That's a SEAL.
They learned that at Gettysburg. You don't fight uphill. But they would face freezing temperatures and bitter winds at the highest altitude of battle in the history of the American military. This was the highest point where we ever fought. But Britt and his team didn't even hesitate for a moment. They made their decision. For them, it was an easy one. They went back to that mountain. When their helicopter reached the mountain peak, they jumped out into a furious onslaught of machine gun fire.
God bless them.
Like none of them had ever seen before. Britt and his teammate, Sergeant John Chapin, charged uphill toward the enemy, where John was shot after clearing a bunker. Britt continued to engage the enemy, repeatedly exposing himself to horrendous fire.
When President Trump gave a Medal of Honor, it was shown as an honorary occasion. He stayed till the end. Trump made the recipients feel the weight of their actions that brought them there that day. The 45th president would behave in ways that the people there, let alone the person receiving the medal, would never forget the ceremony. You could tell it was important to the 45th president, and not in a way that would get him in the limelight. It's that obvious. And here is President Barack Obama, who was also much better than Joe Biden ever could be. That's obvious. But he did a very good job making the award recipients feel like their country cared about them and about what they did to receive their awards. Just give it a watch.
Thank you, everybody. Please be seated. On behalf of Michelle and myself, welcome to the White House. The man you see before you today, Corporal William Kyle Carpenter, should not be alive today. Hand grenades are one of the most awful weapons of war. They only weigh about a pound, but they're packed with TNT. If one lands nearby, you have mere seconds to seek cover. When it detonates, its fragments shoot out in every direction, and even at a distance, that spray of shrapnel can inflict devastating injuries on the human body. Up close, it's almost certain death. But we are here because this man, this United States Marine, faced down that terrible explosive power, that unforgiving force, with his own body, willingly and deliberately, to protect a fellow Marine. When that grenade exploded, Kyle Carpenter's body took the brunt of the blast. His injuries were called catastrophic. It seemed as if he was going to die. While being treated, he went into cardiac arrest, and 3 times he flatlined. 3 times, doctors brought him back. Along with his parents, who call Kyle's survival our miracle, we thank God they did.
Now, you see that? That's how 2 presidents handled the same type of ceremony that Biden couldn't give a rat's ass about. Captain Larry Taylor deserved better. Every single person who has ever worn the uniform deserves better than a commander-in-chief who can't even stick around to finish what he started. Someone too preoccupied with his own desires that he couldn't wait to leave the ceremony. It was obvious. All right, make sure to subscribe to our channel and share our videos with like-minded friends who want to stay informed about what's really going on. If you like this video, you'll love the next two we're about to show. Stay informed, stay vigilant, always remember to read between the lines and the lies. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.